Hello and welcome to MSE 402 Engineering Project Management Module or Week 5. This week what we're going to be covering is called Monitoring and Controlling. It's going to be that phase where we monitor and control the project. So controlling a project is what we're going to be looking for this week. Let's go ahead and jump down into that project model that I've created for us, where you can see that the monitoring and controlling phase actually starts way up at the top where you're trying to initiate the project, and it goes all the way down to where you close a project. It overlays all of these areas, so you're monitoring everything that's going on all the way up and down this process flow for a project, and you're trying to control it in a positive way. You're trying to drive or direct the effectiveness and efficiency of all the people that are working with you and for you. You're trying to close the project in the best position possible. So that's what we refer to as monitoring and controlling. And you can see that it also encompasses very broadly the quality perspective and the changes that are happening off to the side of the process flow. So let's go ahead and take a peek at what we've got lined up for you this week. You'll see that this week our lecture that I've already got created for you is on project monitor and control. That phase, what those elements look like. It's going to be very essential to understanding where we're going this week, because this week is going to be right before we hit phase 5 or module 5, week 5, where we close the project. This is prior to closing it, so this sets the stage for us to really understand how we're driving the project, how we're monitoring it and controlling it. And we've got two big assignments we're going to be covering. One is going to be communication, the other is going to be risk. So let's take a peek at what we've got lined up for you in our week 5 Zoom live lecture, which will be Wednesday night from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you'll see that we're going to be talking about measuring progress and performance. How do we measure that? What does that look like for us as we're monitoring a project? What are the measurement parameters or perspectives to that? In addition to that, you're going to see that week 5 is where the ECS PMO is going to reach out to you, and they're going to have some opportunities available for you and some challenges. Now, since this is week 5, depending on your team structure, typically you will still have a new team leader that will step forward this week, but there may be the opportunity for somebody, depending on if you've rotated through all the team members, for someone new to step forward that has done it before. But other than that, we want you to try to rotate the team leadership role into everyone that you've got available for you on the team. You're going to see that we're going to be asking you from an ECS PMO perspective, who's the team leader this week? And you've got 2 additional questions that you'll be answering. Go back to your team. Ask the team members what they think of this. It's an opportunity that becomes available, and there are some changes or some challenges you have that you'll have to respond to. Now, this week, once again, when we start talking project monitor and control, the Larson and Gray book has got great material for you, as it always does, but it really has some good written, I'll call it, areas for you from a strategic standpoint, recommendations for how you monitor and control a project, things that are based upon many years of experience and practice. So make sure you get your readings in for the textbook for week 5. And then in addition to that, this week, once again, you've got the PMBOK, the PMI Book of Knowledge, the PMBOK Guide, and it is once again going to talk to you about the process. So don't forget that. It's based on process. Now, you're going to have 2 week 5 discussions, and they're going to be on project uncertainty. What does the word uncertainty mean in a project? How do we react to that? What are the phases of it? Areas like that. What does it do to a project? Does it cause chaos? What does that chaos, look like? How do we react to it? Things like that. So the discussion activities this week, don't forget, you have 2 different discussion activities this week. You have 3 different posts that you must do for each discussion activity. The first one no later than Wednesday. 3 total on 3 separate days to get full credit. Make sure you get all those posted because we want you to get full credit in the posts. In addition to that, there's going to be great dialogue. The discussions have been great up to this point. You all are really doing an excellent job of understanding the material and posting relevant and meaningful responses to each other. I also like the way that you can agree to disagree and still treat each other with respect. Those are very important parameters, and you guys have done an incredible job. Everyone has done an awesome job. Now, the assignments that you've got this week, there are going to be 2 of them. So one of them, and let's take the first one, is called a risk register and a risk matrix. You're going to have an Excel spreadsheet out there that I want you to pull up as a template. It's going to have 3 tabs. There's a video explanation as to exactly how to open the risk register. This is going to be similar to one you've seen previously. So those of you that have been in a previous course that I have structured for you are going to see that this is going to be very, very similar to what you did before. Follow the instructions. There aren't any, I'll call it, any deviations from what we did previously, so you're going to find that the team assignment as far as the risk register under one tab and the risk matrix on another and mapping them is going to be identical. Now, once again, the book, the Project Manager's Book of Forms, has got a risk register that is identical. So PMI and the PMBOK are really embracing the new risk register format that you have here. Now, in addition to that, the communications plan is the other assignment that you have to put together. And both of those, there are examples of those in this particular book, but the templates that we've provided you ultimately have got more information than you're going to get out of this particular template. So utilize what we've got available for you. It's as good, if not better, than other areas that you're going to be able to get information. So the 2 assignments, the things that you have to submit this week as the team leader, one is going to be a communication plan for your team based upon what you think is essential from an information standpoint. And you're going to see that this spreadsheet type of environment is going to be a little bit different than those of you that have seen matrices that have been put together in Word documents where you kind of walk through a variety of different components and identified who the key stakeholders were, what the types or methods of communication were. Those are all things that are umbrellaed under here, but in a stronger way. It's almost like an analysis and a diagnostic tool that you can use within your organizations. So that communication plan is one deliverable that your team has to put together. Make sure you follow the instructions that we've got not only in the video but in the written instructions. And then in addition to that, the risk register and risk matrix are going to be requirements for you. So make sure you get those 2 components delivered. That's going to be the team leader's responsibility to submit those. So make sure that as the team leader, you're delegating the work out to other people to help you. This is not just your assignment. Everyone must be participating. So all team members should be participating as we continue to move forward. Your individual assignment as the team leader this week is to take week 4's basically individual assignment, that team leadership report, review it, look at what you accomplished this week and where you need next week to go to get through. So it's a very good handshake document that you can hand from one person to another from a team leadership perspective. Make sure you get that posted for me, and that will cover all of the essential things that we've got lined up for you in Module 5 or Week 5. Now, Week 5 sets the stage for finishing up I'll call it the closing phase. You know, when we get into understanding that next week, the final module, Module 6, is where we wrap everything up. This is the module before that. So if there's any problems, issues, or concerns, remember, contact me. Let me know either through the course module in the problems, issues, and concerns area in Canvas, or feel free to call me on my cell phone, text me, or email me. I get all the messages that you all are sending. I'm responding to them as quickly as I can. Typically, it won't take more than a couple hours before I can get information back to you. So Once again, congratulations on getting into week 5. We're almost coming across the finish line. Last week you captured earned value. You understand where you were at from a cost perspective. This week we're looking at how do we control the project? How do we monitor and control it? And then next week will be how do we close the project. So congratulations, we're into week 5. I look forward to talking to you in the threaded discussions and seeing you on the Zoom live lecture. Have a great week. Goodbye, teams.